Everyone, we're out here at Cisco Live in Amsterdam, and I've been chatting with Annie a good bit, and there were a couple of, I guess, concepts or names for some really interesting, alarming, fascinating happenings. And I don't want to spoil the surprise, but can you give me the name of those and what they are?
Yeah, so there were two that I wanted to share with y'all and with you. So the first one is called the right to be forgotten. The right to be forgotten is the idea that machines are being trained on our information. People are leveraging our information for personalization. Our personally identifiable information is around the internet in places. And people are recognizing and supporting the idea that humans have a right to be forgotten. So the concept is called the right to be forgotten. Do humans have a right to be forgotten by systems that are monetizing their identity, their information? And if so, what does it look like to actually protect those people, to remove that information? Do you have to pay for it? Who do you pay? Do we penalize the companies who are doing it? How do we hold where's accountability? And right now we're in Europe. So what does it look like when you have someone who's European who goes to the United States? In Europe, maybe their data is more protected than the US, but the US has their information and so the right to be forgotten is complicated. It's not easy to understand or easy to deal with, but it's something that people are talking about. The second is called ambient consent collapse. So ambient consent collapse relates to spatial computing and spatial intelligence. So what we have now is we have our earbuds, we have our phones, but we have our earbuds, we have our smart watches, we have glasses that are smart glasses. And of course we had our ChatGPT pen, which we used to have. Nobody's wearing that anymore. But the fact is that we are being recorded and monitored without our permission. And it's something where historically, if you didn't want anyone listening to you, you just would not actually put an Alexa in your home. That's not the case anymore. You can be in public and people can recognize who you are. They can record you with their glasses. They can do facial recognition to see who you are. They can find out information about you. My watch the other day, I was having a conversation and I didn't realize I'd hit the Gemini button. And all of a sudden, I'm having a conversation. The watch pops up and starts talking to me, saying, "It sounds to me like you need to do X, Y, Z. Like you want to create this. This is what you can do." And it started writing out like an email because it heard what I was saying and it started sketching something together. And everybody around me was very uncomfortable. Another example would be we had a partner, and we had a couple of partners show it to an event, and one of the partners was wearing meta glasses, recording everything. And the other part, we had to tell him, you can't do that. You can't, because some people don't find issue with it. So we are being recorded without our permission. This is a very good Splunk audience thing, honestly. Like there is a lack of consent about how our identity is being reflected. And where it has been captured, we do not necessarily have a right to be forgotten. And those two concepts, the right to be forgotten and ambient consent collapse, are going to be things to continue to explore and follow in the news.
So these are new topics to me. These terms are new topics. Maybe not necessarily the concepts, but are you seeing maybe some future legislation on this, or just GDPR came to be and stuff like that?
So what I'm going to see is I will see BYOD policies at workplaces change. So the UK, I can't remember what entity in the UK, but they have a new clean desk policy where you cannot bring AI augmented devices into work. You cannot have wearables, watches, phones, or not watches, not phones. Well, I mean, phones are a problem, but watches, earbuds, or glasses. You can't bring those to the office anymore. So you're going to see some entities who are changing their clean desk policies on the ambient consent collapse. Another one is for the right to be forgotten. I think also there's going to be an elevation in Europe specifically of people who are recognizing the human right to be forgotten. So I would see that happening here. Honestly, anything that's going to protect the user is probably going to happen in Europe first.
No. These are fascinating topics. I really do appreciate your time and your thoughts on that.
Yeah, absolutely. You all should have the right to be forgotten.